Welcome to on Paulsboro. The opening may look just like the same show. It's because we've done a couple of things at the same time, but this program is going to be a little bit different. We're going to be highlighting wonderful footage from the Boys and Girls Club Gala that took place at Hill Studio. Tonia Tecce did a magnificent job, and Judy McKenzie shot some footage of her singing, also some highlights from that, which we know you're going to enjoy. And I remember, you know, we spoke about it a little bit on a previous show. This was the Ireland House. I remember the Ireland sisters, longtime educators, and a great project that you were involved with, returning the Buck Street School bell.
John, you were allowed to ring that in Mrs. Lake's 5th grade class, who was principal, if you didn't talk a lot well, I think I only rang it one time the whole school year. But what can I say, John? But that is just wonderful, wonderful history of Paulsboro.
Oh, it's good stuff. You must have had laryngitis that day. I can't imagine you being speechless. I remember the Ireland sisters, and many of you watching the program probably do. They taught in the school systems, lived here a long time. But when I was very little, they paid the most for cutting their grass. It was $5 to cut the lawn. It was a lot of money then, because Vincent Gattuso's pretzels were not expensive, and Velatatas was open. You could go a long way with $5 then.
You sure could. I got an allowance of $2 a week. $1 went in Walter's 47 Studebaker gas tank, and the other $1 took us to the movies a couple times a week.
You couldn't buy fumes at a gas station today for $1. Things have certainly changed. Stay with us. We're coming right back.
Life is a journey that we travel with a lot of uncertainty. When your family is faced with change and you're in need of understanding, direction, honesty, and professionalism, we at the Landolfi Funeral Home have a tradition of assisting you with all of your needs in any way that we can. We offer many affordable funeral services. Please feel free to call us with any questions you may have or visit us at www.landolfifuneralhome.com.
Rizzo Family Chiropractic Center in Gibbstown offers pain relief with a difference. Using specific chiropractic adjustments, Rizzo Family Chiropractic will get to the root of your problem quickly. Bring your headaches, neck, back, joint, or limb pain to Dr. Karen Rizzo. If you have recurring pain, chiropractic can help. Rizzo Family Chiropractic can relieve many sources of pain without extended treatment and ongoing therapy. Give your family the gift of caring professional pain relief with a difference. Rizzo Family Chiropractic.
We are so honored that she is with us this evening. She is going to be accompanied on the piano by master voice teacher Richard Robb. Did I say that right, Richard? Got both of them right. That's very good. And he's playing a magnificent Steinway, valued at $85,000, by the way. But I suspect he can make an accordion sound good. So please, a warm welcome home to Tonia Tecce.
Because I grew up in Paulsboro, and every Saturday my sister Joanne and I came to the movies at the Hill. I can't believe that I'm standing where the screen was. Because we would come here on Saturdays and I saw Jane Powell, Shirley Temple, Deanna Durbin, and I knew I wanted to do what they did. I wanted to sing on the stage, more than anything. In this theater, Saturday after Saturday, whenever the girls were on the screen, that set in stone was Tonia Tecce or Sissy wanted to be when she grew up. And I had such fond memories. I was sitting in those where the seats were. It's so amazing to see it this way. And this is where it all began. So I owe my roots and I owe my everything with regard to my music to the Hill Theater. Thank you, Mr. Gertzkamp. And then I was married and I had 6 children. So after they were raised, I was so fortunate, so lucky, that I could return to my music and my singing, performing, singing, and recording. And so the next song I'd like to share with you was the title track from my CD, Smile. We went to school together. She's celebrating her 40th birthday. On every street
I pledge to be there for you when disaster strikes, to guide you through your claim.
To offer personalized coverage from a choice of insurance companies.
To explain your policy and treat you with respect.
That's the Trusted Choice Pledge. We put it in writing.
Home, auto, business, life.
We are Trusted Choice, independent insurance agents in your hometown.
Spartan Planning, your local Trusted Choice agency. Call 423-4561. For everything, there's a season, and a time for everything under heaven. A time for sharing, a time for caring, a time for remembering, and a time for parting. When that time arrives, let Alan C. McBride, Beth McBride Foley, and Thomas D. Foley at the McBride Foley Funeral Home help you in your time of need. Offering a wide variety of funeral services from cremation to traditional, McBride Foley Funeral Home has been helping families with the loss of a loved one with over 50 years of combined service. McBride Foley Funeral Home, 228 West Broad Street, Paulsboro. Thinking about a new appliance or an LCD TV? Don't think twice. Think Weiss. Weiss True Value has a full line of LCD TVs plus a great variety of appliances. And of course, hardware items like True Test paints, Master Mechanic tools, electrical supplies, key duplicating, and Rug Doctor rentals. And for repairs on screens and windows, look no further. Weiss True Value, from making keys to selling appliances and LCD TVs. Don't think twice. Think Weiss. 39 West Broad Street, Paulsboro.
Welcome back. The program continues. With me now is Captain Vern Marine of the Paulsboro Police Department. It's been a busy department. Well, it's busy anyway, but particularly busy in the headlines dealing with some difficult issues, I want to say successfully. The chief couldn't be with us because at the time we're taping today, he is at a chief's meeting, which he had previously committed to before we were able to put the taping together. So the captain was kind enough to join us to talk about a few things. First of all, Vern, you've had a busy time, but the department's a busy department to begin with. But you've handled a couple pretty rough issues and a rapid response. You've sort of brought them to conclusion.
Well, Mayor, I believe being mayor for so many years, I believe our department is probably one of the finest in our county. And I think so more prevalent today with the quick response that our patrol officers had in the last few serious issues that we've come upon. Last being the homicide, which was a very unfortunate incident, but it was isolated. They knew each other. Our detectives, the prosecutor's office, they're working diligently on it, and I feel certain that within a few weeks, a month, we're going to have the evidence that we need to put this to rest.
And that's a very interesting point, because when the captain speaks of evidence, it's a lot of sophistication today, even in small town departments. Of course, everyone watches CSI and those various programs. It doesn't happen as quickly in the real world as it does on television. Give people a sense of how it works in the gathering of evidence where DNA may be involved.
Well, unfortunately, on television, they show in a 60-minute period, they solve all their crime and everybody goes home happy. In the real world, the detectives, the crime scene investigators, they have to collect the evidence. Once it's collected, they have to categorize it. Some goes to the state police laboratories in Central Jersey. Some goes to the South Jersey lab, and it really comes down to the state police forensic scientists that look at the evidence for DNA, and that could take sometimes it could take months, sometimes it could take 3-4 months for that to come back. But unfortunately it's not a 60-minute process like they show on TV.
Yeah, it's never as easy as it looks on television, but it's a different kind of approach to law enforcement. That particular incident you mentioned, elderly woman ended up losing her life. Just very, very, very sad to have to deal with those circumstances. We also had a hold-up by knife point. I think it was by knife point at the Valero station, where you had people in the right place at the right time.
Yes, I want to say our patrol officers did a fantastic job that evening. There was 5 individuals that held up the Valero gas station with a weapon. Our officers, fortunately, were in the right place at the right time. They were able to apprehend 3 of the individuals right away, and then with throughout an extensive investigation with our detectives, the Gloucester County Prosecutor's Office, and the U.S. Marshals, they were able to capture the other 2 later on that evening. So within 12-13 hours, we had all the individuals that did that robbery.
Yeah, and that's excellent police work. Police work is, it's you react to things. So if something happens, you're called into service. The fact they're able to move that quickly speaks very well of the department serving this community. And Captain, this may be a little bit away from where you'd be comfortable speaking about, but Governor mentioned in his State of the State address, and the legislature is taking up the issue of how bail is allowed in cases where a person who has had multiple arrests, when they are entitled to bail. The Constitution allows everyone opportunity for bail. And law enforcement has been expressing a void of frustration where you're arresting almost the usual suspects, and they're out sooner than they can get them into court.
Well, unfortunately, bail is simply to make sure that the individual is going to appear in court. It's not a punishment. It's not a presumption of guilt. Everyone is entitled to bail, and unfortunately, when bail is issued, there's bail bondsmen, and that goes from, if somebody has a $50,000 bail, it could be as little as $1,000, $500, depending on the bond, and the person's out on the street. Again, it's not a punishment, and really bail's not used that way. It's just to make sure that somebody's going to appear in court.
Yeah, the governor is asking the legislature to take up and review provisions that a judge would have some discretion on an individual who would normally be eligible for bail if their circumstances have such a history of repeat offense that they can be held longer for trial than have the right of bail. It's a complicated issue, and law enforcement's voice is very large in trying to figure out what is a fair balance so people's rights are protected, and at the same point, the resources of a police department to protect the community are not overwhelmed by arresting the same person repeatedly and just having a backlog getting into court. So, Vern, that stuff's got to get worked through. Not an easy topic because people's rights are paramount. But on the lighter side of things, or on the happier side, and to give you an example of how this department is engaged at various levels, you have a proposal. The department has a proposal to be engaged with kids in the summertime.
Yes, fortunately, over the past several months, I've been meeting with the chief, and I proposed a summer youth camp. It's held at it's held at the Gloucester County Police Academy throughout the summers, and it gives the kids an opportunity to see law enforcement in a different light. They've held several like programs in Woolwich Township. It was a great success, and I felt it was something that was important to me, and it was important to bring back to the community. And unfortunately, once school's out, during the course of school, we have DARE. We have our SRO that is on a one-on-one basis with our kids, and I think it gives them a sense of a relationship with the department that they don't normally see. But once school's out, there's that break, and unfortunately, sometimes when we deal with our kids, it's not in a very positive light. And I think by providing this youth camp, that we're going to hopefully get it running in June. It's going to be a 2-week program. I think it gives the opportunity for the kids to come out, see our department in a different light, get to know our officers. I think it's going to be a very well put together program. It's 2 weeks. Fortunately, we're going to have it. It's going to be led up by Sergeant Sheldon Lewis, who happened to work in Paulsboro. Fortunately, I know the chief in Woolwich, and he's going to be gracious enough to allow him to come work with us for 2 weeks to get our program off the ground. And it's going to be structured. It's just not going to be a day camp. They're going to come in, they're going to have a uniform, they're going to be taught military drill, they're going to be given CPR and other tools that help them in their everyday life, self-discipline, basic first aid, self-esteem, conflict resolution, things that they can use on a daily basis. And again, I think it's going to be a positive, not only for our kids, but for our community.
I think it's an excellent vehicle. It's a good idea. It'd be a first time that this program has been introduced. In the age range for the kids, for those parents watching?
It's going to be 13 to 17. Once I speak with Dr. Scambia and the school board, we have to work out some logistics for where we're going to hold the class. But we're going to be sending a letter out with the students to the parents. There's a small application, and once we get the applications back and we figure out the logistics, how many people we're going to be able to have in the program, then they'll get an acceptance letter. They'll have to get medically cleared because there will be some physical fitness, and then we'll go from there.
Excellent. We visited with Captain Vermarino with a police update. Also, new police cars coming into the force. We're going to have those maybe at a subsequent show as the new vehicles make their way in. And just a message to everyone. I think the captain will agree with this. You've got to be smart about things. Lights on at night, doors locked, and particularly lock your doors of your vehicles in your driveways. Don't be an easy target. You got to exercise common sense. Stay with us. We're coming right back.
Life is a journey that we travel with a lot of uncertainty. When your family is faced with change and you're in need of understanding, direction, honesty, and professionalism, we at the Landolfi Funeral Home have a tradition of assisting you with all of your needs in any way that we can. We offer many affordable funeral services. Please feel free to call us with any questions you may have or visit us at www.landolfifuneralhome.com.
Rizzo Family Chiropractic Center in Gibbstown offers pain relief with a difference. Using specific chiropractic adjustments, Rizzo Family Chiropractic will get to the root of your problem quickly. Bring your headaches, neck, back, joint, or limb pain to Dr. Karen Rizzo. If you have recurring pain, chiropractic can help. Rizzo Family Chiropractic can relieve many sources of pain without extended treatment and ongoing therapy. Give your family the gift of caring professional pain relief with a difference. Rizzo Family Chiropractic.
The best part of the show. It's time for Community Notes with Irma Stevenson. Irma?
I'm sorry, I have to make a rebuttal. I called Franny Currens. Happy birthday to Franny Carson. But because Sock and him are always together at wrestling and football, they're brothers. So, Franny, happy birthday, Franny Currens. Happy birthdays to Mike Funk Sr., Nancy Fleming, Abigail Jane Llewellyn, Dana Funk, Jappy Gentile, Ida O'Leary, Mike O'Leary Sr., Brad Bradford, Captain Claude Berthold, United States Marine Corps, Jack Koshu, Ruth Burke, Patty Farrow, Stella Powers, Ed Ravely, Marie Gezzi, Isabella Cordetti, Murphy Cheveroli, Donald Doak Sr., Amy Rosenberger, Rita Costin-Bader, Ed Simic, and Anita Wittig. Happy anniversaries to Donna and Mike O'Leary, Lisa and Bill Mitchell, Bonnie and John Haddock, Bill and Marcia Stell, Gloria and Russ Trumbull, Cindy and Norm Reichert, Ida and Jack Otten, Betty and Ed Jeffers. Happy anniversaries and happy birthdays. Chinese auction, John. The Chinese are always somewhere in town. April 28th, Billingsport School, 441 Nassau Avenue. Doors open at 6, auction at 7. Entry card is 4 with additional cards $1. This is for the Paulsboro Day Committee to keep our kids' amusement rides on Paulsboro Day free. Call 856-341-3309 for further information. And our friends at the Eva Thrift Boutique, Taylor Memorial Baptist Church, 9A to 2P on Fridays and Saturdays. Wonderful, neat stuff they have there. Cheap, and for $10 you can fill a bag. And our Greenwich senior citizens are always looking for new members. Second and fourth Monday are their meetings, Gibbstown VFW, 1 p.m. And they're going to have a covered dish dinner on April 23rd. Please call Janice at 224-1170. And the Gibbstown, Paulsboro, East Greenwich Township Rotary Club are looking for members. They sponsor Rapana Daycare Place, Student of the Month in Broad Street at Gibbstown, and they also help with the Helping Hands, giving food to people in need. Please call Janice at 224-1170. John, and we have great activities in town. People are always helping our Feed My Sheep by St. Paul's. And John, we're going to have a class reunion, class of 1957 in October 27th, John. So I got to get my members ready.
Well, you also have a good story to tell. Walter, longtime Paulsboro fireman, Walter Ginhart passed away. And tell us a story, Irma.
Well, as you know, my son Gary will soon be an undertaker, full-fledged. But anyway, Gary, of course, being fire chief many years in fireman, coming into town with Walter, the fire siren went off, went past the firehouse, stopped, and Walter got his final mark. So I'm sure when he got up there with all the Paulsboro and Billingsburg firemen, he had his mark, John.
That's a great story. Answered the last alarm. That's going to do it for this program. For Fred Bookter behind the camera, for Bill Crane, our producer, who couldn't be here today, Irma.
See you on Broad Street.
Till next time.
No more gazing across a wasted years. Help me to say goodbye. Let your mind start a journey to a strange new world. That's all I ask of you.
When Hurricane Katrina came through, we lost everything. We lost our business. Our Trusted Choice insurance agent took care of us in the worst possible time in anybody's lives. The good times are rolling again. Had it not been for our Trusted Choice agent, I promise you we would not be here today.
Trusted Choice Independent.
Additional, McBride Foley Funeral Home has been helping families with the loss of a loved one with over 50 years of combined service. McBride Foley Funeral Home, 228 West Broad Street, Paulsboro. Thinking about a new appliance or an LCD TV? Don't think twice. Think Weiss. Weiss True Value has a full line of LCD TVs plus a great variety of appliances. And of course, hardware items like True Test paints, Master Mechanic tools, electrical supplies, key duplicating, and Rug Doctor rentals. And for repairs on screens and windows, look no further. Weiss True Value, from making keys to selling appliances and LCD TVs. Don't think twice. Think Weiss. 39 West Broad Street, Paulsboro.